Hello guys, I am back with the next video in this scrapbook room tour series. This is going to be part 2, and this is going to be the first part of the detailed scrapbook room tour. And I have a decent amount of stuff that I need to show you guys, so hopefully I'll break this up into maybe 2 parts so that they're not too long. And if there's anything that I skip over that you guys would like to see more of or have extra questions about, just let me know in the comment section below, and then we'll see about doing additional videos as we go along. I'm going to try to have a separate post for my Project Life storage, because there are several requests for people that wanted to actually see the storage for the Project Life card. So I'd like to do that on a separate video. So I'll show you where those are, but I probably won't go into too much depth and detail about them. So first, this is where you walk into the room. This is the door right here, and then you come along here, and I have just put some pictures in some frames that are old scrapbook pages from, like I said, 2004, and some other scrapbook pages before I had kids, and I just have my little furry kids. So this is the cabinet as you walk in, and this is just a cabinet that I got from like Target or Walmart or something like that, and it is nothing too special, and it really just houses a lot of extra things I didn't know where else to put. So I'm going to move something real quick. Pardon me. All right, sorry about that. I want to get the door open. So this is my Bind It All, and it's just in a case here. I have never used it. It's pretty sad. I've had it for quite some time. I need to get it out and use it. It's a really neat tool and I love it. I just haven't used it. It's terrible. So I need to get that out and use it sometime. I should make myself a goal for the 2016 year to make some mini albums with it. Here I have 2 albums that I got on clearance from Michaels. So they're just the snap albums, and they have that, what is it called? The kind of burlappy finish. And I just got those because they were on clearance for like $3. It was crazy. Here in these 3 or 4 bins, I have my Gypsy cord and my Cricut cords, my card samples, which are just from when I used to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And then these 2 boxes are my Cricut cartridges. This is the Cricut cartridges. I just label all the outside of the bins with my label maker. And I made these little, this polka dot as washi tape that I just used to cover up some white paper. So when you open it up like this, I got this idea, I think off Pinterest or somebody on a YouTube channel, but I love how it stores my Cricut cartridges. And what I ended up doing was I just put these Cricut cartridges on this piece of foam board, and then I just put Velcro on the back of them, and then I put the other piece of Velcro on the back of the foam board, and now they just stick. So I was able to store these a lot better. I don't really use my Cricut anymore, unfortunately. I have a Cameo and I get that out now, but I kept all the cartridges. I have a Gypsy that actually has a broken cord, so I can't hook it up. So I kept the cartridges so that I think at some point in time I'll pull them out. They still are, they're usable and they're nice. So I haven't parted with this. And on the other side, I just adhered them to the lid. So I got 2 sheets of these cartridges in here. One, like I said, on the lid, and then one on the cardstock. And then here is just the different, what are they called? The little booklets. And so you can thumb through these. And I have the booklets and the rubber, like little keyboard things in here with these, each book. So this one is just an extra one. It's Cake Basics. It came with my Cricut Cake. And then I have each booklet, and I have the overlay in the front of each of the books. And so you can just thumb through these here and find the cartridge that you want, pull it out, and then use it. And so I think the storage system works pretty well. So that's that. All right, moving on to the next shelf. Here is just a bunch of mini albums. Some of them are filled, some of them are not. I have some that are still packaged here. One of these plain chipboard albums. I have my wedding album here that's 8.5 by 11. Oop, dropping stuff. My 8.5 11 wedding album here that I have all old stuff in. So it's my, well, actually not my wedding album. It's more my engagement to my wedding album. So that just fits on the shelf here. And I have some other mini albums. I have an album that's an 8x8. Sorry about that. An 8x8 album that has all my doggies in it and my kitty cats, my furry babies, and a bunch of other stuff in here. Again, just a storage area. It's pretty dark, and sorry you can't really see all that well in here. But it's just a storage area for some of my mini albums and things like that, and some mailing supplies. Down here is a bin with envelopes in it. So I have, when I have cards and Christmas cards, I don't use all the envelopes. When I get picture cards for Christmas and things like that, and I have leftover envelopes. I put them in here, and I've just labeled them. Nothing real exciting. This is an empty box for MacBook Air. This is an empty box for my iPad. These are some paper bags to make the paper bag mini albums, and they're just came from Michael's, I believe. Or these may have come from Target. I think this is a big bundle from Target. Here is a box of distressing toolkit from Close to My Heart. And I have really never used it, but it's adorable, which is just kind of ridiculous. I should probably pull it out and use it. But it has a whole bunch of distressing tools, sand blocks, and things like that. If I can get it back in now. And so that's just stored in here. I have some 7 Gypsy stamps that are just old stamps that don't really have much ink on them yet. They're these little cartridge ones that are supposed to be self-inking, and you just stamp them down and then the ink pad's in the top. So I have some of those. I like them a lot, and I thought, well, even if the ink pad doesn't work anymore, I can still use like a regular ink pad to use it and to ink it up. Down below is some old Stampin' Up! Magazines, a pasta maker that I used for clay, some other just boxes of gifts and things like that, and an old photo album that has photos in it that I have not scrapbooked yet from back when I was in high school. Now I'm moving on to my closet, and on the top of the closet, you can see is a big disastrous mess. It's just got a whole bunch of random stuff in there. There's nothing that I'm really going to show you so much on that very upper shelf, but I did want to show you what was on this bottom shelf here. And what I do is I store my scrapbook scraps in these 12 by 12 iris containers, and I have each one labeled, so it's hard to see that. Sorry, it's not really focusing very well. That one is whites, blacks, and grays, and then it goes on with the different colors. And so I have these 6 units here. This top one is pattern paper, and I just put all my scraps in here, and then every once in a while I go through and purge them. But this way it's easy to get to all my scraps, and I had the space on the shelf, so that's why I put them up here. Coming down is just some office supplies. This is an old suitcase of my dad's when he was a little boy that I need to go through. It's got paperwork and photos and stuff like that from back when he was younger. Over here are just a bunch of empty boxes and a basket and some other things that don't really have anything in it. And then down here are my daughter's supplies, so I'm not going to go through that bin. Over here is more of my daughter's supplies. You can see that she has a bunch of scrapbook paper and some other things and some random markers and stuff like that. Here is a bunch of chipboard that I have that I use for backing if I need like a harder, thicker cardstock. And that is about it for that part of the desk. Here I have my 8.5 by 11 paper just in rainbow-ish order. It's not exactly in the Rory G. Biv order, but it works. Here are some paper pads and some papers that I really like that I need to get used, so they're just sitting right there. Each one of these drawers, oh, and by the way, I don't think I mentioned this, all of these drawers are labeled with these pieces of white paper, and then I just added washi tape to them. So here you can see if it focuses. Let me see if I can get to focus. So this is just a piece of cardstock. It's like a thicker chipboard, and then I just added the washi tape on the front of it to decorate it. And then if I want to label the drawers, I just use my label maker to label each one of the drawers. So each one of these drawers just has various paper pads in it that I have been collecting for quite some time. I get them from Tuesday Morning and all different places, so I'm not going to go through and show you everything that's in the drawer. It's just all paper pads. The next drawer here is more paper pads. I have a paper pad problem, apparently. I have not bought any new paper pads in quite some time, so I'm pretty proud of myself for not doing that, so that's good. And then this one also has paper. Oh, no, it doesn't. I'm sorry. This has my daughter's apron in it, and then a bunch of baby supplies for baby scrapbooking, and I'm not having any more babies. So if anyone would like to get a rack of baby stuff, let me know. I don't need all this stuff, and I want to give away some of it. So if there's anybody out there that's having a baby, most of it's girly kind of stuff. Some of it's kind of gender neutral, but I had a daughter, so that's why it's mostly pinky and kid stuff. This one has all of my animal scrapbooking supplies in it, and they're all going to come out. So this has all scrapbooking supplies with cats and dogs and everything in this bin. So it's just in these plastic envelopes that you get at Michael's, and I just have it labeled pets. that's on the front. And then there's some more stuff in the drawer that fell out of the bin. So that's that. Right, moving on to the next part of my room. These 4 cubes here have, or the 2 cubes in the top have my daughter's supplies. So this is tools, and then this one's a bunch of stamping stuff, so it's just her art supplies. And then these 2 bins are empty. And then this bottom bin here and these other 3 bins all the way down I just emptied recently. This had all my daughter's stuff in it, so those don't have anything in it currently, so there's nothing to show you for there. So let me move up here now to my Kallax unit. Oops, and I'm going to run into my Raska behind me. Oh, and my Raska, so I'm going to spin you guys around just a little bit. I do have a Raska, but right now it's just holding stuff that didn't fit anyplace else, so there's nothing really to show you. It's kind of a disheveled mess, so pardon that. I'll move over back. Sorry. Oh, and if anybody's curious, sorry, one more time. These curtains are from Ikea. I thought they were cute. I love the little birdie pattern on them. So if anybody's interested, they are from Ikea. I got them a couple of years ago now, but I think I looked at them recently to see if they had them still in stock, and they still had this pattern. So you might be able to get them if you are interested. So over here is where I have a lot of paper and just knickknacks and things like that. So the top shelf is pretty self-explanatory. It has my texture boutique and just a bunch of random embellishments and things like that for the room. And then down here is where I keep my storage, or my paper storage. And then what I did was I ordered these in color order, and I took these postal shipping boxes and I took one box, made 2 of the paper holders, and they're nice cardstock. And what I ended up doing was I left the sides the way they were with the postal stuff on it, but I colored the front of it white so it looked cleaner. And so what I just, I get my Scraptastic kits in these postal boxes and some other things. So I just took what I received and I just converted them into these paper storage holders, and they work really well. I really like how sturdy they are. And then in order to organize them further, I added these color tabs onto the sides. So I knew what color was in each section. Not that I couldn't tell from the side, but it was fun. This is a Stampin' Up! Punch I used for the tab, and I just used my tiny attacher to staple it. And then I used the 12 by 12 chipboard extras and things like that from the back of paper pads to do the dividers. So I did that. And I just kind of have all my cardstock here. This is my Stampin' Up! Cardstock. This is some specialty cardstock and vellum. And then here are some other vellum pieces and things like that. And they're labeled vellum. Here I did the same thing with my, pattern paper. And on these I use the different pattern paper strips to kind of show you what color was in each section. I kind of color coordinated it here, and then some of it's like multicolor, so that's what this little polka dot one represents. And then all of these are different Stampin' Up! Collections. So I just labeled them. Let me see if I can get a little closer. I labeled them with the Stampin' Up! Collection. So miscellaneous collections, because I just had a bunch of different stuff here. This is the birthday collections. This is Spice Cake. This is Big Top Birthday. So they're all labeled with the collections they are from. So that's kind of that. Moving down is where I have my ribbon storage, or part of my ribbon storage. I have way too much ribbon. So this is a little tray that I painted. And it just has my various ribbon in it and then a box of twine back there. Nothing really organized at all, just kind of sitting in this bin so that it's easy to pull out. Here is some watercolor paper. So this is like a long long pad that I just cut down to 12 by 12, and I have about that much left over, and I use it, either my daughter uses it or I use it for doing coloring and things like that, watercoloring with stamping. Here is all my photos just sitting in this box. Again, nothing organized in any particular way, just laid in this one box. Here is a picture of my daughter, and what I did is sometimes there's just a lot of clutter behind this stuff, so I put this photo here to kind of cover up that clutter so it wasn't just so messy, and I think that helps a little bit, and it doesn't make it so distracting. So let me pull this down. So in here I have a binder that has nothing in it. This is an empty drawer. I love empty drawers. That means I can get more stuff. Not that I need it, but here's my Disney photos up here. They just didn't fit in the box over here. Here is 8.5 by 11 page protectors, and I have it labeled. Down here is jewelry making supplies. And again, it's not too exciting, just a bunch of jewelry stuff just thrown in the drawer. Here are several picture people envelopes and things like that of different photo sessions my daughter went to. And they're just all laying in here up against the side. Moving down, let me put her up here again. So moving down is my Smash book, and this is not completely full. I used it for a while, and then I just kind of stopped using it. This is a fan that I painted. It's an antique fan, doesn't work anymore. This is an embossing tool holder. So what this does, sorry, pardon my kitty cat dish. What this does is you can put your embossing gun here, and then you can emboss down here. So you can put your paper under here without having to hold this embossing gun while you're doing it. And I bought this from someone that was making them, and I bought it when I was being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So it's really good when you're making lots and lots of cards, and they have a lot of embossing on it. You can actually just put the embossing gun in here, have it running, and then just emboss multiple cards underneath it. So that's kind of nice. So back up here, if I took this down here, whoop, this is my box of sewing supplies. This is a box of wedding stuff. And this is a box of pictures that I've already scrapbooked most of the pictures, but I didn't throw the pictures away because that's just what I do. This is a knife from my wedding cake to cut my wedding cake with. And that is the same knife that my parents used to cut their wedding cake. So that was kind of cool that my mom gave that to me. Let me shove this back in here. Moving over here, I have an empty scrapbook. This is a bin of crud and stuff. Nothing organized, just a bunch of extra stuff that I didn't know where to put. Here is another scrapbook album. And in this bin, there is my glue gun. And I really like this glue gun case. This is a case that came in an old desk that I had. My husband gave this to me. But it's nice because when you open this, you can put your glue gun in here like this. And you can set it in here, and then your glue gun plugs in here, and it's got this anti-stick mat or plate so that when you're using your glue gun, it can just glue in here and doesn't get all over the place. And then I have glue sticks and things like that that are extra. So I really like this unit here. Let's put that on here. And then this is just a glass mat that I have. And then that is it for that drawer. Maybe if I can get this back in. All right, moving over to my next space. This is just a bunch of different books. Some have sketchbooks in it. Some are just about places I've lived before and just chicken soup for the soul. Nothing too exciting there. So that is just a bunch of book storage. I'm going to move now over here. And like I said in my previous overview room tour, this is a board that I made out of an old window and just houses lists and things like that about my YouTube channel. Here is my Project Life Station. I'll pull this off. So this is my Project Life Station. I have all of my stamps here, and how I organize them is I put them on these boards here, or these white cardstock. See if I can set it down. So I put it here, and I just put the different stamp plastic that came with the stamp sets on this side, and then on this side I put all my stamps. And I liked this a lot better than how I had them before. How I had them before was just in their packages, and it was really annoying to have to go through and pull them out. So I decided to put it on this. And I actually saw this on Mercy Tierra, Tracy's channel, and I just really like being able to do it this way, and it helps me flip through them better. And I can see multiple stamp sets at one time, which I like as well. So that's how I have that. And then I have some other alphabet stamps and things like that that I didn't want to put on the boards here. Here is my what is it called? Project Life Stampin' Up kit. And it's got all the acrylic in here, or I should say the photopolymer. Here are a whole bunch of mini letter stickers. I have my other alpha stickers over there in my other Kallax bookshelf. So this is just all my different alpha stamps, and I just can flip through them very easily and look through and figure out what colors I want to use. This is my Creative Memories paper trimmer. Here's some cardstock that's just sitting here. Here are some other sticker sheets. I have too many of them. I just have this piece of cardboard here to keep them all from flopping over. But here I have all my labels, my October afternoon labels. So I have these 6x12, all my 6x12 labels in here. And then I have 12x12 simple stories sticker sheets and October afternoon sticker sheets all back here. So I can just flip through these and kind of figure out which ones I want to use. Here is where I keep my Project Life album, and I just kind of keep this here out open on my desk so I know kind of where I'm at in the process. And so this is my 2015 album, and then below is my 2014 album, which I have not finished. Down here is just my gift wrapping station, has all my gift bags and wrapping paper. These are some iris containers. The top one's empty, and these are just all different kits that I have from various years that I've been collecting them.